Mr. Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to,
Can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here, she's trying to, but, I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live, I'm not a cat.
I can see that. I think if you click the up arrow next to this, Mr. Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings.
I think I ran it back, but have you ever had a Zoom issue?
Not like that. Actually, I know Rod Ponton, and I know the judge as well. Rod was a prosecutor out in West Texas in the Marfa area. And if you know Rod, who's a really sweet guy, but that it's so much funnier if you know him and even watching that, because you can just imagine the freak he's going through at that moment. No, I've never had a Zoom issue, thank God.
I might be wrong, but I think he said, "I'm ready to move forward as a cat" in the video.
Is he a funny guy?
No, not at all. and that's the point. He is so self-serious and so kind of, think Columbo without caffeine. I mean, he's kind of that almost intentional, bumbling, slow processing guy. And so to see him stumbling around as a cat filter is just magic. He's a great guy. I think.
So I got a clip here. A man tries to use an AI-generated lawyer in court. I stumbled across this, found it fascinating. I want to see what you think.
May it please the court. I come here today, a humble pro se, before a panel of 5 distinguished justices.
Is this, hold on. Is that counsel for the case?
I generated that.
I'm sorry?
I generated that? That is not a real person.
Okay, it would have been nice to know that when you made your application. You did not tell me that, sir. I received the application. And you have appeared before this court and been able to testify verbally in the past. You have gone to my clerk's office and held verbal conversations with our staff for over 30 minutes. Okay? I don't appreciate being misled. So either you are suffering from an ailment that prevents you from being able to articulate, or you don't. You are not going to use this courtroom as a launch for your business, sir. So if you are able to shut that off. If you want to have oral argument time, you may stand up and give it to me.
So Dan, can you explain that dynamic with the judge? You have to get stuff approved, I guess, before, or what is that about?
I'm not really sure what the issues that they were discussing are, but I'm equally less sure of what the hell he thought how that was gonna help him. So he's a pro se litigant, and he's representing himself, which means he's got a fool for a client. Blah blah blah. But you could tell there's a backstory there that existed with that lawyer and his staff. He's one of these guys that I'm sure showed up repetitively and was nagging the clerks and complaining about how unfair the system was, and all the while deciding not to hire a lawyer to represent himself. So that judge was lit at him before she ever came out, and threw gasoline or kerosene or jet fuel or whatever you're looking for on that fire.
Was that response valid from the judge, you think?
100%.
Yeah.
All right, Dan, I got another one here. Lawyer accidentally calls Judge honey during an argument. Here, give me a second.
Case. Okay, but it wasn't 3 separate. Let's go with what happened in the case.
Honey, oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Your Honor. That, I don't know what to say to that. I apologize.
Okay, go ahead.
The question here is what happened. I'm sorry, I've just been totally thrown by
I can
mistake.
imagine. I can imagine. I'm a little thrown by that also, if I'm being honest.
Your Honor, I what to say. It's just
Okay, well, go ahead. You've only got 1 minute and 7 seconds left.
the question here.
Have you slipped up like that in court?
No. I do have to say that I had kind of the opposite experience. Fun fact, and this is probably 35 years ago.
Shit.
So I was in front of one of my favorite judges of all time. She's passed, but she was glorious. Her name was Jo Keegans. She was one of the first female district judges in Texas. She was a former homicide cop.
Wow. That
went to law school and became a lawyer. She argued and defended, I think, Aaron, probably 10 or 12 death penalty cases as a defense lawyer, as a female, of course, before women could even sit on juries, right?
Wow.
So she was old school as hell. She smoked a cigar. She talked like LBJ. She was just awesome. I mean, what you saw was she didn't give a shit what anybody had to say, prosecutor, defense lawyer. She would light either one of them on fire. Just one of my favorite people. But, 35 years ago, I'm still racing motorcycles today, but I was racing every weekend. Every single weekend. I was going to Lubbock. I was going to Little Rock. I was going, race motorcycles. And if you race off-road motorcycles, you're going to break, you're going to break a bone every now and then. So we had a case set where I was representing a police officer who was charged with intoxicated manslaughter. She was intoxicated, or the allegation was she was intoxicated, wrecked a car, and the person was killed. The issue was whether or not she was driving or not. We were preferentially set. It had been set many times, and I broke my ankle on the Sunday before the Monday for jury selection.
Shit.
So I limped in literally to the courtroom, and I said, "Hey, Judge, I need to go to my orthopedic and get my ankle set because I'm pretty sure I'm just swelled up like a grapefruit." I don't give a shit if your ankle is broken or not. We're trying. Judge, I'm not asking for a continuance. I'm just asking to go over to my orthopedic. Get the fuck out of my courtroom. Be back at 1 o'clock, Cogdell. Okay, so I went to my orthopedic, and I'm not embellishing this at all. Go to my orthopedic. He said it. I got a cast, and she had jury told me to be back at 1. And she had this giant courtroom, biggest courtroom in the courthouse, massive courtroom. And she brought the jury panel in, all like 120 of them, right? So they're sitting there waiting on me, which is never a good look, right? Because they're going to be mad at you. So even though the judge told me to be there at 1, he brought the jury panel in at 12:30. So they're just tapping their foot, going, I'm like, oh, great. So I'm limping into the courtroom on my crutch. Approach the bench, sugar britches. I was cuter then. The whole courtroom just erupted in laughter, right? I mean, 125 people are just laughing their ass off at this, brazen judge who called me sugar britches. I'm turning red, and I walked up, and I'm just looking at her like, really? And she goes, "You want a continuance, Cogdell?" And I knew better than to say anything, right? And I just looked, and I guess she wants sympathy, huh? And I didn't say a word because I knew some iteration of this was coming. She goes, "You know where you can find sympathy in my courtroom, Cogdell?" And I just looked. You see that dictionary over there? Yes, ma'am. You can find sympathy in my courtroom in that dictionary between shit and syphilis. This case is continued and you are excused, right? Which was just Joe's way of, oh, fuck, you really did break your ankle, so I'm not going to bust your ass about it. But
damn.
So that was how she gave you
that was how she gave me a continuance. It's just by eviscerating me in front of 125 of my closest friends. 100% true story. Now, that shit wouldn't happen today, but and the judge was rightly offended at Honey, but come on. Shit, way worse than that's happened in the annals of our history.
This is a man who definitely has gotten into a lot of arguments with his wife and has had to
for sure.
calm her
That
down.
was like
It's like, honey. It's like, it was knee-jerk reaction. Poor guy. All right, let's move on. We got here, a judge snaps at an elderly lawyer. So we're going to go ahead and play. This one's about a minute. 1 second. Get the volume there. Boom, boom.
Questions, all right? You're finding yourself very close to contempt.
I'm sorry,
Mr. Sirkin, why are you not here?
Your Honor. I received the court notice yesterday,
When did you receive notice of today's hearing?
yesterday in the afternoon.
No, on paper, when did you receive it?
Receive what, Your Honor?
Good God. When did you receive, on paper, the notice of today's hearing?
I have not received anything on paper of today's hearing.
Then how did you know to call my staff yesterday and tell them that you were going to appear by Zoom?
That's correct.
All right. Okay, but before you do that, why don't you go ahead and have a seat, because I want to address something else. I need to apologize to you for my behavior last week. It was very unprofessional of me, and you did not deserve that. So I sincerely apologize. I truly let my temper get the best of me.
You know, Judge, that's fine. We all make mistakes.
So it looks like the old lawyer was kind of hard at hearing. Do you feel like judges empathize with that, or does that influence anything whenever there's like an age kind of situation going on?
You know, first off, good for both of them. I mean, the older lawyer for trying to muddle through that to the extent that he could, but even better on the judge for realizing that he shouldn't have reacted the way he did. So that I'm impressed by that. Not terribly impressed with his reaction before, his action before, but that takes a lot for a judge to say, "Hey, man, out of line. I'm sorry." So good for both of them. But the answer to your question, it depends, Aaron. I mean, there are judges that get annoyed with stuff like that, and there's some judges that find the grace, and I think you can find the same older reactions within the same judge. He's having a bad day or he's having a good day. We're all human, and the judge lit up somebody he shouldn't have lit up, but it's a system that the human element comprises. So I don't think I'm in a position to say judges usually do or judges usually don't. It depends.